All right, on this episode of Bowks Talking Bouts, excited to be chatting with an individual who has quite the intriguing contest coming up, and that is going to be part of 156. We have some submission grappling action transpiring on April the 22nd, and we've got Mikey Musumeci taking on Masakazu Imanari, and very happy to be welcoming Iminari onto the show for the first time. How's your day going so far there?
本日はインタビューありがとうございます。調子はいかがでしょうか？
そうですね。まあちょっと減量してるんでお腹が空いてる状態ですけど、まあ動けてはいますね。
はい。I am watching my weight a little bit, so I guess I'm a little hungry, but otherwise, I'm doing well. I'm moving well.
Yeah, and you've been submission grappling for so long. I mean, like over a quarter century at this point. Like, how cool is it to see, one championship investing in promoting submission grappling the way they have been as of late?
長年、グラップリングに挑んでいると思うんですけれども、最近のワンがサミッショングラップリング、のマッチアップなどを進められていることについてどう思いますか？
そうですね。まあこれはまあやっぱりアメリカですごいまあグラップリングがすごい流行ってる感じがあるから、やっぱりそういうのを見てやっぱりワンもやってみようって思ってたんでしょうね。すごいいいと思います。
I think this is because grappling has been on the rise, especially in the U.S., and I think One Championship is also kind of riding off that wave, so I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, and I'm curious if Masakazu was able to check out some of the submission grappling super fights at 1X, like if he got to see Rainier DeRitter against Andre Galvao or Danielle Kelly versus Mei Yamaguchi, and if so, what were his thoughts on those particular bouts?
前大会の 1X でライニャー・デリダー対ガウガオ、ケリー対山口などのサブミッションマッチについての思いなどお聞かせください。
そうですね。山口さんは練習してたんで、まあその試合もよく見てたんですけども、まあ結構すごい強い選手に頑張ってたなって思いました。
Yamaguchi was especially prepared. I know she put in a lot of hard work, and she did really well against a really tough opponent, Kelly.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm kind of curious as to what the, arrangement is with One Championship there. Is this a single match deal? Are you in a contract with like multiple contests? Like, what does that look like there?
今成選手の今回の試合はワンとの、1試合契約なのか、それとも複数の試合に参戦しますか？
今回これは1試合ですね。
It's just going to be one match, then one.
Yeah, that's curious because I was going to see if there was like a desire to continue with like an MMA kind of path there in One Championship. Like, is the idea to more so pursue submission grappling going forward, or does Masakazu think he will still take more mixed martial arts bouts in the future?
これからは総合格闘技の試合などは望んでいますか？それか、今はグラップリングがメインでしょうか？
まあ試合があるんであれば何でも MMA でもグラップリングでも何でもやろうかなと思ってるんで、別にあんまり何をしようっていう感じではないです
ね。If an offer comes my way, I'll take, whatever is offered, whether it be MMA. Like, I'm not really fixated on one or the other.
Yeah, for sure. And then just, talking about this matchup here, because, it seems like a lot of people are, understandably pretty high on, Mikey Musumeci and everything like that. Seems like, getting ready to debut in one and a fair bit of momentum. Like, what are Masakazu's thoughts on what he's seen of Mikey and just the skills that he has in his estimation?
対戦相手のマイキー・ミスメシは今回ワンデビューですが、グラップリング界ではかなりの勢いがあるようです。彼についての印象を聞かせてください。
まあ今やっぱりマイキーはやっぱり今本当にベストの選手だなというふうに思います。
I think he's definitely one of the best right now that there are.
Yeah, in terms of like positions and skills and just different submissions, like what does he think Mikey does really well from what he's seen? Like, does he do diligent study on opponents and stuff like that?
彼の寝技の実力などについては、どう思いますか？
まあ本当にすごい高いレベルで、すごい技術を持ってて、まあ技も正確だし、まあその弱点があんまり見当たらないかなって感じです。
はい。I think he's a really high-level opponent. He has really high-level techniques and pulls off submissions at a high percentage. I can't really find any weaknesses in him.
Yeah, that must be compelling on a level of like testing one's skills. And I know you were just saying that this is like a one fight kind of arrangement with one championship, but if they were to offer you more, say, submission grappling matches, is there anyone else under the one championship banner you'd like to test your skills against in a submission grappling contest?
他にワンでの試合をするとしたら、他にサブミッショングラップリングルールで対戦してみたい選手などはいますか？
そうですね。デメトリアス・ジョンソンとか。
Demetrius Johnson, for example.
Is there something in his submission grappling skills that you think would be fun to test skills with and interface with? Is it more of like a respect for his overall MMA legacy? Like, I mean, that's a great selection, but what's the motivation for, I guess, referencing Demetrius Johnson as an ideal submission grappling opponent there?
デミトリアス・ジョンソンと試合するのは、彼の実力を試してみたい。それか、まあ、ただ、なんでしょうか。そういうレジェンド的な選手と、試合してみたい理由なのか、いかが、どうでしょうか。
まあ、どれくらい強いのかも、まあ、知りたいし、まあ、なんですかね、興味ありますね、やっぱり、単純に。
I do want to see, what his level is at, and I'm just curious how I would match up.
Yeah, fair person to be curious about. I mean, yeah, great guy with legendary skills, no doubt. But same can be, said for Masakazu for sure. I mean, he's been with one championship on and off for over a decade now, competing on their third event there and everything like that. I was wondering if Masakazu can speak to the growth of, himself as a martial artist and just one as a company all throughout that timeline there I mentioned.
今成選手は10年以上渡ってワンで試合していますね。始めた頃からそれ以来の格闘家としての成長とワンチャンピオンシップという団体の、変化についてお聞かせください。
そうですね。やっぱりもう今は本当に MMA をするその人数が世界中にいっぱいいて、もうレベルがすごい上がって、もう知らない人でも強いし、誰と当たっても、負ける可能性があるなっていうふうに思いますね。
I think that level MMA has, it's really top level to the world. Best in the world, even if you get matched up against names that you're not familiar with, you can expect really strong opponents.
Yeah, absolutely. A great roster that seems to keep on growing there. But I was checking out Masakazu's Instagram, and I quite enjoyed it. It seems like it's mostly comprised of just like, dozens upon dozens of these like artful kind of like black and white close-up photos, bunch of different martial artists there. I thought it was pretty wholesome. Like, is there something that inspired that kind of presentation, that sort of like art project kind of dynamic on the Instagram there?
今成選手のインスタグラム拝見させていただいたんですけれども、様々な格闘家の写真のドアップが写っています。これは何がきっかけで始めた、プロジェクトですか？
まあ単にドアップの写真が好きで、まあそれを集めたいなと思ったんですけど、でまあなんですかね、まあそれがただ単にちょっと集まってってるって感じなんですけど、まあ今はちょっとそのインスタグラムのなんかアカウントがちょっと停止されちゃってるんですよね。見れないんですよ。自分自身が見れない状態ですごい困ってます。
To be honest, I just really like those close-ups. I think, and I just started collecting pictures of, close-ups. But at the moment, currently, I can't access my Instagram account, and that's been my main concern.
Oh, what happened with that? What's the issue with being able to get into the Instagram? One of those hackers out here, or like what's the, I guess, issue with logging in there?
停止されたのはなぜかわかります？
なんなんですかね、多分、そう、フォローしてる人を一回ゼロにしようと思ってちょっとずつ消してったんですね。そしたら、なんかちょっとそういうスパムだと思われたのかもしれないですね。
I probably started unfollowing too many accounts. I was trying to get the number down, and I guess maybe they thought of it was some spam account doing that.
Oh, well, that's kind of a bummer. Hopefully that can be sorted out sooner than later. I did enjoy those close-ups for sure, but something I was also enjoying seeing from a past interview was Masakazu saying that he would like to compete until he's 60. I'm kind of curious, what are some goals, like defined, mapped out objectives that he has over the next 14 years?
インスタグラムの件は改善されるといいですね。過去のインタビューで60歳になるまでと、試合し続けたいとお聞きしました。次の14年間の間で達成したい目標は何でしょうか？
目標、まあそうですね。体の至るところが痛いんですよね。なんで、まあそこを直しながら、続けていきたいなと思うんですよね。
I guess in terms of goals, there are parts of my body that have been kind of hurting, kind of injured. So I really want to take care of my body and focus on recovering.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely the recuperation and the maintenance of the body is important. But in terms of, like, I guess, martial arts minded, like competition specific goals, does he have anything kind of like that? Or at this point, it's just like see what offers come his way and he'll kind of figure it out from there?
格闘技の面では、何か他に目標はありますでしょうか？
そうだな。まあやっぱり強いと言われてる人と試合をしたいですね。
I guess I want to continue competing with people that are considered strong.
Yeah, I mean, no doubt. That's certainly a great goal to have, and the whole career very much underscores that desire. And something I was kind of curious to ask about, because I saw you'd had a grappling bout with Nicky Ryan a few years ago, and just with like the looming kind of presence of Gordon Ryan in one championship, getting ready to get out into the one circle. Like, what are your thoughts on just Gordon Ryan's skill set and the idea of him entering the one circle to compete?
ニキー・ライアンなど、ゴードン・ライアン、についての印象などは何でしょうか？
印象、そうですね。まあやっぱり本当にグラップリングで成功してる人たちっていう感じですかね。やっぱそのグラップリングのシーンにうまく乗って、やっぱりその実力もやっぱりすごい二人だし、まあ今の時代に合ってるんでしょうね。
They really are succeeding in the grappling scene right now, and I think they're really capitalizing on the popularity and at the right moment as well, and they're really representing the top of the top of grappling.
Yeah, and as someone who's competed in submission grappling and MMA, and Gordon Ryan looking to seemingly segue into mixed martial arts competition at a certain point, like if you were to impart advice to like a submission grappler getting into an MMA rule set, like is there certain key bits of advice you would want to impart to someone making that transition?
ゴードン・ライアンも、ワンとの契約されて、MMA に移行する予定もあるらしいんですけれども、グラップラーに対してのアドバイスなどは、グラップリングから MMA に移行する選手にアドバイスなどはありますか？
まあアドバイスするようなほど自分がねできるわけじゃないんであれなんですけど、まあ言いたいのはまあちょっと我慢しながら やれば勝てるんじゃないかなと思います。
I don't really know if I'm in a position to offer that kind of advice, but I guess that it's going to hurt. You just have to brace yourself a little for the pain.
Yeah, I mean that's certainly good advice. You don't want to go into it thinking you're not going to accrue any damage, I suppose. But I'm kind of curious as well because I'd seen that Masakazu has an instructional on how to do the perfect Iminari roll. I'm kind of wondering, what is the most perfect Iminari roll that Masakazu has ever hit?
これまでに実戦で最も完璧に決まった今なりロールはいつでしたか？
どうなんだろうな。それは自分のってことですよね。
はい。
そうですね。実戦、マイク・ブラウンかな。はい。
I guess for myself, it would be against Mike Brown.
Yeah, that's a great one. I definitely remember that fight for sure. Definitely a great performance for sure. But, I mean, it's so cool that there's, a maneuver in martial arts that's named after Masakazu. I'm kind of curious, when did he, I guess, invent the Iminari roll? What inspired the creation of that maneuver there?
その技はいつ、できたのでしょうか？
それはね、何年だ、2000年より前だったような気がするんですよね。1999とか8とかわかんないけど、多分くらいだと思います。
That's a great question. It was definitely before the 2000s. I want to say maybe 99 and maybe 1998.
Was there just something that he, I guess, saw in a certain moment where he thought that would be like a surprise, entry point kind of thing? Or does he not remember, a distinct moment where he, I guess, decided to do that there?
その、今なりロールに関してなんですけれども、何がきっかけで、出来上がった技なのでしょうか？
レスリングがちょっと苦手なんで、タックルとかでやるのがちょっと苦手なので、ちょっと後ろ向いてやるのが自分に合ってるなと思ってですね。
I wasn't great at wrestling, just takedowns in general, so I figured there's something I could do. I guess looking back, that was my inspiration.
Yeah, I mean that makes a great deal of sense for sure. But so cool getting to talk to Masakazu and pick his brain a little bit, but also want to be mindful of his time and schedule and all that. So, is there anything he might want to add as a parting thought as we're wrapping up here?
本日は、インタビューありがとうございます。他にコメントなどはありますか？
いや、別に、特にないか
な。Not in particular.
There's nothing wrong with that. We had a good little chat, so I guess we covered kind of all the bases there. But I'm really looking forward to checking out this submission grappling bout against Mikey Musumeci. I think that'll be a great one at 156 going down on April 22nd. And just to reiterate to Masakazu, thanks so much for coming on the show ahead of this submission grappling super fight. And just, hopefully he enjoys the rest of his day too.
今週の試合頑張ってください。応援しています。本日はありがとうございました。
ありがとうございます。
Thank you.